Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another game. I'm trying to get the mic in my mouth. That's how I cast nowadays. No, actually, I'm just trying to see my keyboard. Welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. This is a PvZ between... Press the play button, Matt. Press the play button. We're off to a great start. This is a PvZ between Violet and CuHz. CuHz, you know what? I can't remember what his real name is. But he's midway. I think he's 173rd Grandmaster. I found this replay on Dropbox or StarCraft Drop. There's a lot of kind of no-name players on Dropbox, and Grandmaster changes so much every season. There's so many new players in, and so many players that were in it that aren't anymore from season to season. It's hard to keep track of anybody. But just cuz, is our Grandmaster player in this matchup. Violet is ranked 15 Master League. And like I said, it's another one on Antigua Shipyards. Yeah, just to give you an idea of what was going on at the start, my casting setup is like, I've got this huge studio mic in front of my face, so I can't actually see the keyboard. I was looking for the N key because I couldn't even find the keyboard, and that's how that happened. But anyway, the last game I cast was a TVZ. I hope you guys checked that out because it was a pretty good one. And the Terran player, oh no, I'm not gonna spoil that game. You go watch it. You go watch it, okay? Right now, go watch it. Nothing much happening in the beginning of any PvZ. What the frick happens in a PvZ unless like somebody 6 pools or there's a 2-gate proxy or a cannon rush. I miss combat cannons as much as I hate Combat X and love Combat X. I miss combat cannons because they're hilarious. A little bit, just a teeny bit. Anyway, CuHz is making that forge. Maybe we'll see some sort of weird cannon rush, but I doubt it. And he's gonna forge fast expand. That's all there is to it. But it's not a greedy one, which, you know, after watching the last PvZ we cast here on StarCrafting, we saw a greedy fucking Nexus first, forge fast expand on a 2-player spawn map, and I cried. I just cried happy tears when I saw something like that. Greedy players make me smile. I've seen Zerg players go like the best freaking greedy Zerg player I've ever seen took a 3rd base and a macro hatch before his pool and just made me drool all over the keyboard. It took me like 3 days to clean that shit out of the keys, and my girlfriend wasn't happy with me because, you know, I had drool on my hands as I tried to clean it. We're not going to get into it, but I was excited. It was a good time, and you know, I'm sad when I see that forge go down before the Nexus. It's just not greedy enough for me. Anyway, Violet going to come in here and scout. Most people know who Violet is. I don't really know much about him, but I've heard of him. I've seen him play. But ultimately, you know, it's a familiar name. Cool guys. Something tells... maybe? I was going to say, I think that's one of the female players that recently just started making a name for themselves. Violet, maybe? But I could be wrong there. And Cybernetics Core will go down. One of those players that chooses to leave a hole. Not all players choose to leave that gap with a forge fast expand. They tend to just wall themselves right off. We will see a double gate, which makes me think there might be some Zealot pressure to the 3rd. And Violet is taking this forward gold expo, and I mean, why not? This is going to be interesting. A lot of lings here to deny scouting of that, which is interesting. When you see that many lings, it almost tells you that something is weird. It really makes me feel uncomfortable when I see that many lings at the bottom of my ramp, because I know they're trying to hide something. We do have a single probe in the space to stop, you know, just like a straight up run by. There are all those lings. There is a complete run by the probe, luring all these lings away from the wall. He is going to try to tag the watchtower, I think, and see if there's a weird gold expo. That looks like what he's going to try to do. Is he going to touch it? He does. No, he doesn't even. He can't take control of the watchtower because of the drone that was there and because of the lings. He does see the creep there, hopefully, though. Yes, he does spot the creep. He knows that something is afoot. Gonna chrono out a sentry. Gonna make a zealot. He's gotta punish that man. He's gotta go for something out of this. And it looks like Violet actually maynarded quite a bit of probes from the main to that expo. And I mean, why not? It will pay for the travel distance by itself. 6 roaches coming out, which is extremely scary. Very interesting opening here from Violet. Very unorthodox, but very safe, it feels. It doesn't seem like there was much opportunity for CuHz to punish that, and I feel like already CuHz is playing behind. Violet does not need to take that third, which is usually the cause of a Zerg's downfall. The Zerg wants that third base, and a lot of Zerg players take that greedily, and in a Forge Fast Expand situation, Protoss know that that third's going up, and they find a lot of interesting, unique ways to punish that third, whether it be Stargate play or some really cool +1 weapons timing the builds. It's very easy to punish that third base. We do see a Stargate coming out, which could be an extremely good decision from CuHz. Void Rays will help him out quite a bit here if he can get one out. He is going for that Void Ray. A single sentry blocks the choke. One cannon, a second going down. And it will be up to Force Field to keep him alive here. Those roaches are going to smash into this wall straight up, and they're in range of the cannons, which is not good for the Protoss player here. Another sentry being morphed in. He will be using those Force Fields to try and keep his cannon alive, while sentries and stalkers pick off those roaches up in the front. That cannon will go down, and actually going to try to drop another cannon, but a Void Ray does come out in time and will provide ample coverage and can actually hunt those roaches down. I'm not sure where the Void Ray is off to now, but it looks like it will try and go punish this. We do have an evolution chamber going down, which will be used for spore crawlers, and a queen here to defend this base. A Void Ray has a lot of trouble dealing with queens, especially two of them. It cannot take two queens, not even close. But it will be here at the watchtower, trying to soften up its roaches, trying to kill as many as it can, and 4 spore crawlers in production for Violet. Not sure where all of them are. So 2 of them are here at the Gold Expo, probably 2 more here at the main. Absolutely. And I don't even feel like he needs them. That Void Ray is charged though. These queens still, even though it's a charged Void Ray, 2 queens are more than enough to take it out. They do have a Phoenix here picking off Overlords, but who cares? I mean, the Zerg player, he's got this Gold Expo. I think the biggest thing though is, despite having the extra money from the minerals, you can see the Zerg's money floating here because they just don't have the larva to produce off the Gold Expo, and only 2 hatcheries. This is like 3 bases worth of income, and it just doesn't have a larva to spit out that much stuff. Taking a third right now. The Protoss player, I think, playing this very well, and just got these air units floating around checking for Overlords. Every Overlord he can kill is a waste of larva, especially on this 2-base situation. I don't understand why Violet hasn't thrown down a macro hatch. I really don't understand it. Still spitting out a lot of these roaches, just trying to get up a big roach ball, I think, and hoping they can play turtle style. And the Protoss player really not spitting out any more Void Rays, actually getting a Robo Bay. Not really investing in weapons upgrades or anything like that. They've got weapons 1 completed, but not going for anything more than that. A single stalker here, I believe, trapped. I'm not sure. Looks like it was told to go to this location and was just like, ah, fuck it, I like this wedge. And, okay. Other than that, we just got a cruising Void Ray and a weird sort of Overlord orgy going on here. This is like a circle jerk, and a single Overseer being like, fuck this shit, I'm better than that. I don't want to, you know, spray my stuff all over the workers. That's all that's going on there. Anyway, we've got an observer out joining the fray. CuHz is going to do some scouting, I think. And you got to be careful with that observer, I think, because the spore crawlers are kind of everywhere, you know. And a Void Ray does act, or not a Void Ray, Phoenix, that's the word, goes down to a handful of Hydralisks. And I feel like he's going to need Zealot Charge or Colossus. That works too. Looking to the production tab, we do have Colossus on the way. We do have that Armor 1 on the way as well. A couple Hydralisks. This is the worst decision he could have made with these Hydralisks, because they are going to be free for this. Oh my god. If you do not have a lot of shit as a third player, you can't push. You can't push on a 3-base Protoss like this, because the force fields, oh man, the force fields are just going to eat you alive. And now that he's got this Guardian shield up, he's got enough sentries for some good force fields, he's got Colossus, he's got weapons upgrades, he's got Void Rays, and this is, wow, I feel like CuHz should not have come down his ramp. That was a decision that should not have been made by the Protoss player. So the Zerg player actually in okay shape, and with that weapons 1 upgrade, he's doing well with this Hydra. They will take out that Void Ray. I feel like CuHz had the game if he just kept playing defensive, but he is, you know, playing a little bit sloppy now. This Colossus in a very bad place, could very well get sniped by the Hydra, but Micro back to safety. will use its thermal lance to try and do damage and stay alive, but it's actually going to go down. No! Stays alive with 27 HP, and that army is cleaned up by the Protoss ball. That armor upgrade just now finishing, and trying to push back into the Zerg army across the creep, but does have that observer for creep timber destruction, but doesn't really have much of an army to push out with. And the creep is a dangerous place because those Hydra are fast, and look at this misrallied, oh my god, misrallied Colossus goes down to the Zerg player. Oh my god, oh, that is something painful. As a Protoss player, that is probably, oh, and as a Zerg player, man, that is just, you're just like, oh my god, sweet. Oh my god, sweet. Because it's not like Ultralisks where you can spit out 10 if you have a hatchery with a bunch of larvae sitting on it. That's one Colossus for RoboBay, and that shit starts to, you know, if you can't spit out a lot at once, it's a little bit shitty. So, another Colossus does manage to be chrono boosted out. We've got 2 Colossus here in this army, and a Void Ray. And I feel like he needs to, when I say he, the Zerg player, needs to kind of switch out of this Hydra Roach, because as the Colossus add up, it's not going to work anymore. But yeah, huge that he picked off that first Colossus. Huge. A couple cannons here, but the Roaches will just kind of smash themselves into that. A bunch of Zealots being warped in, and that's going to be the, you know, the deny button. But once again, on the creep, a very scary place to be when your death ball's not very big. More Void Rays coming out, and just this big scary Roach Hydra ball. Still only on weapons 1 though, and no upgrades on the way. 14 Roaches coming out, and weapons 2 I think for the Protoss player. Yes, there will be weapons 2, and just starting to clear up creep now, which is exactly what he wants. Some reasonable force fields, but they weren't fast enough to trap any units, and just kind of forced the Zerg player back. Here we go again. The Zerg gonna smash themselves into this, but the Colossus just cut down the units so fast. Zealots keeping a lot of the units back, but they will get right on top of the Stalkers now. Void Rays clean up any remaining Hydralisks, and the Colossus just cut that army down. Gateway count starting to get into appropriate numbers for the Protoss player, and he will push this Zerg into submission, I think. But the Roaches once again get right in on top of the army. They're so fast on creep, and the Protoss player cannot push into them like that. 2 Roaches chase down that Colossus and get it. What a great decision by those Roaches, by the Violet player. The Violet player, he is purple too, kind of a bluish purple, dude. I'm just kind of rambling now, it's okay. Anyway, what was I going to say? Weapons upgrade now finishing again, and the Colossus count is being kept really low by the Zerg player. It's exactly what he needs, it's exactly what he wants. But 3 bases on 2 bases now. The Zerg player is practically mined out at the gold. He's running out of steam. 6 Roaches in production, as opposed to the Protoss player, which is just spitting of Void Rays, Colossus, weapons upgrades, spitting of gateway units. I feel like Violet did not follow up that early advantage properly. And he's going to push a Spore Crawler forward, which will help him actually defend against Void Rays and Colossus, which is kind of interesting. You normally see Spine Crawlers being moved up like that. And it's actually detection against the Observers as well. It will stop the Protoss player from clearing the creep back too far. If that Observer gets too close, it will be denied by the Spore Crawlers. Here come a bunch of Roaches, but that's a silly push, in my opinion. And these Colossus will be able to use the high ground to just completely deny this. And GGGG from Violet. This game goes to the Protoss player. Another game in the hands of a Grandmaster. Violet, though, man, I think he played alright. But I feel like he should have taken a 3rd or a macro hatch or anything like that after taking this gold base. I feel like he was in good position, and the Protoss player never really tried to push out other than that Void Ray. I don't know, man. I feel like Violet was trying to end the game quick, and he shouldn't have done that. But anyway, I'm Mr. Incarnum. Hope you enjoyed this game. I'll see you guys next time.